welcome back. I'm Keela, and this is Keela's Corner. If you've never been here before, I want to welcome you, and I've got a really great video for you guys today. And I know I've already done this one a couple months ago, but I really didn't go in depth that well, so I want to go more in depth with it. But today is Lash 101. I'm going to break it down for you, and I'm going to show you how to do it the easiest way possible. So if that's interesting to you, let's go ahead and get on into it. Well, actually, first, before we do that, what I want to do is I want to invite you to hit that subscribe button. I should be right at 100. I don't know. I know that I'm going to be making that giveaway video real soon. And you want to be sure to come back for that. So when I get 100 subscribers, I will be making a giveaway video. So keep your eyes open for that one. But you'll want to ring that bell so that you can get the notification when I do upload that giveaway video. Then you'll know what to do in order to get in on that giveaway. I got a bunch of nice stuff coming and some nice stuff going into that giveaway. And it'll be open for 2 weeks when I start it. But neither here nor there. We'll get into that when it gets here. Okay, so, wow. I got some white eyes there, don't I? And just think there's no lashes on these eyes yet. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about lashes. People are always struggling with lashes. They like the way they look on other people, but they're too afraid to do them themselves because they're always like, oh, I put too much glue. I glued my eyes shut. And da 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 da. Okay, well, that's all part of the process. It's called learning. And practice on this really does make perfect. But I'm going to make it easy for you because there's some different types of lashes out there that'll make it easier for you to put them on, and some that'll make it harder for you to put them on. And I don't have a pair of the absolute beginner lashes. I thought I did, but I couldn't find any. But those will have a really thin band, almost. Now, I did wear these yesterday, so I've got to get some of this glue off. Okay. That should be, well, not just a little bit more. And I think that's going to be as good as it's going to get. Except for cleaning them. But that's another video. But I think this is okay. Let me put this on a tweezer so that you can see it a little better. Okay. If you look at the band, which is this part right here that holds all the lashes together, it's where you put the glue. Now there is a band that's thinner than that one, and it looks more like a piece of fishing line with the hairs wrapped around it. And that is an absolute beginner lash. And it doesn't matter how straight it is, because, I mean, it could come to you shipped looking just like that, nice and straight. And if it did, it wouldn't matter because you'd be able to form it to your eye, no problem, and you'd be able to just pop it right on like that. And you just put the glue on there. Actually, what I like to do with those is I like to take a liquid eyeliner, which is the only time I really use a liquid eyeliner, and I color them, color the band, and that way it kind of hides the band so you don't have anything showing when you put the glue and all that and you put it on there. But because of how thin this band is on this lash. This is pretty much considered a beginner lash also. I mean, it's a little bit more than an actual beginner lash because, like I said, the actual beginner lash is like a piece of fishing line. But this one, you would have to form it to your eye a little bit more. I mean, it'll still go on pretty easy, but it's still a beginner lash. Now, a more intermediate lash would be like this one. Now the band looks about the same, but it's actually a little bit thicker. And you notice how straight it is. Well, that's because it's a little bit more of a textured band. It's a little bit more stiffer. So in order to get it to fit to your eye correctly, you got to play with it first. You got to form it or curl it to your eye. And once you do that, it'll hold its shape pretty well. Just make it go like that. And it will bend. And you can see how flopsy it is. That's why it's still a little bit of a beginner lash, but it's more of an intermediate than the one I showed you first. Plus, that one's already been on my eye, so it's kind of formed to my eye already. Now, I want to show you a more advanced band. And this band, this lash I've not had on my face yet. And if it would come off of the thingy, there we go. Okay. Now then, this is going to be an advanced lash. You see how thick that band is? Now there are thicker. And this one is pretty rigid. This is one of those that when you glue it, you're going to have to make sure you put enough glue on the outsides because those are the parts that's going to pop up first. It's a pretty stiff band. But again, if you just curl it to your eye, you can make it more curled than it is. And the thicker the band gets, the more advanced the lash is. Now you can have a lash that looks just like this, just as full as that, on a band that's like this, a beginner band. But no matter what, the steps to putting them on is going to be the same. It's just that you got to finesse the more advanced bands. Now, if you want to curl it more on the advanced ones, there's a very easy way to do it. You take a brush like this with a nice round ferrule, and you put the lash on that band, on that ferrule. try to make sure you have it as straight as possible. So that it stands out like that. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your hair dryer ready, and you want to put it on high heat but low air, and that way you can sit there and blast this right on the band for about 5-10 minutes. No, I'm kidding. You'll burn up your lash. You'll only need about 30 to 45 seconds of it being hot. And you put the hair dryer over it for about 30 to 45 seconds. Then you want to let it cool a little bit. You don't, because what you're going to do next is you're going to put it in the refrigerator. But you want to let it cool down because you don't want any condensation to appear on the fibers of the lashes, because that's going to uncurl it. Because see how they're nice and curled up like that? Well, if you let the condensation get down, they'll flatten out like that. You don't want that. You want them to stay nice and perky. Just like that. But you want them to cool down a bit, so you set it down, let it rest for a few moments, and then you put it in the refrigerator for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then you pull it back out and you set it down again, let it get room temperature before you take it off. That's because if any condensation does happen, it has a chance to dry off before you ever touch it and ruin the curl of the lash. But that's just one little trick. Now, let's get to the actual application of our lashes. And I'm going to put on a pair that I had on earlier, which is the second pair I showed you. Let me put these other ones away real quick. Because the last thing we want is a messy workstation. Okay. I'm going to be putting these back on. These ones here. Now, I like to keep my lashes where they started out. That way I know which one goes on which eye. So here's the left eye. Here's the right eye. Always. The shorter, or if it's away from you, the right side is for your left eye, the left side is for your right eye. And if you want to, you can use a utensil. I've been doing it so long without a utensil that I usually don't use one. But anyway, here's how I do it. Now, I'm going to grab the one for the left eye. And another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the time to figure out what kind of glue you like the best. Some people like to brush on best. Some people like to squeeze on best. I like to squeeze on best because it doesn't make as much of a mess on the applicator wand that the brush on does. But I like the brush on because it's not as messy and goopy as the squeeze on. So I'm kind of danged if I do and danged if I don't. But I'm going to go with the brush on this time. And what I do... Oh, you also got to figure out if you like the colored glue or if you like the clear glue or the white glue or whatever. I like the white glue that dries clear. But what I do is I take my lash and I paint on it. Let's see if I can turn this a little bit to where you can see a little better. I paint it on and I get it nice and thick. And you see that little bumpy clump right there? That's just gross to me. And I know it's nothing but glue, but it looks... reminds me of a white head or a zit that popped or something. Anyway, I paint it on nice and thick. Especially on the edges, on the outer corners. Come down through the middle. And I'll show you up close once I get it painted on. And I've had people tell me that I use too much glue. But what I do is I end up pulling a bunch of it up and then I brush it off on the side, so I'm not really using as much as it looks like. But I am using more than most people would, I guess. But anyway, I got that painted on nicely, so let me show it to you now. See, it looks nice and milky white on there. Now, I'm going to set it back on this tray, but I'm going to set it like this. Like that, so it can dry. As it's drying, what I'm going to do, since that's for the left eye, I'm going to grab my mascara, and I'm going to put mascara on my lashes on my left eye. Without any clumps, please. And I'm going to do that by looking down into my mirror for my top lashes. Because that keeps me from hitting my eyes with the wand and making a mess on my eyes. Why do I still feel glue on my thumb? But what the mascara is going to do on my eyelashes before I put my lashes on is it's going to help hide my natural lashes into the false ones. Okay. And just like I looked down into the mirror for my upper lashes, I looked down on my face, but up into my mirror for my lower lashes like this, so that again I wouldn't make a mess underneath here. Amazing how that works, isn't it? Okay, now that I've got my mascara on, I'm going to take my lash and I'm putting it in my right hand because I'm right-handed. Now I'm going to look, well, let me put it this way. Let me put it in my left hand because it's my left eye. Are you going to be able to see? I'll do it like this. I will look down into my mirror, find the center of my eye, with the center of the lash and stick it there. Now, yes, it looks kind of funny because I still have to put the ends down, but this gives me the chance to move it around if I need to. Whichever way I need to pull it, and stick it. And then I can press it together to marry my actual lashes into the false lashes. Just like that. Now when I do my right eye, it'll be a lot easier for you to see, because my fat little lower arm won't be hiding the scene from you. So, take my fingers and grab the lash right about the middle. And that way, I'll be able to have a solid base to glue on. Take the glue and put a lot on the outsides. Work my way towards the center. Hold a little higher so you can see. And then I'm going to lay it upside down onto the palette it came on. Just like that. So that it can dry. And as it dries, again, we're going to do the mascara. And even though you prep sometimes like this, sometimes you might still struggle. No matter how good you get at putting your lashes on, sometimes you'll just struggle. Okay. That's about as good as those lashes are going to get. You know what? I'm going to renew some of this lip oil too. You know, I've only had this stuff for a month, and look, it's almost gone. Who loves her lip oil? Okay, now it's time to grab the lash. And it's been sitting there for a while, so let me show you what the glue looks like now. See, it's dried down quite a bit. Now I'm going to look down into my mirror, and I'm going to find the center of my eye with the center of the lash. And I'm going to set it down as close to the lash line as I possibly can. And that gives me what I need to be able to work with it, so I can, you don't want to just actually poke it into place. You want to tug it either way you need to go. That way you get a nice tight fit. And then you want to press it into your eyelid. You don't want to put them on the eyelash themselves. You want to put them right above. And then you press your natural lashes into the fake lashes. And sometimes because of the excess glue, your finger will get stuck, but it's okay, it'll come right off. And you manipulate the lash to where you want it to go. Now, if you wanted to, it's at this point right here that you could add a little more mascara to your natural lashes to help glue them onto the fake lashes. But you really don't need to. Not always. You see the difference? Now my eyes are two different shapes, so but that's as good as it's going to get for that. Now then, let me put my glasses on real quick. There's one other type of lashes that I want to talk to you about. And I don't have any yet, but I have some that are coming. And those are the magnetic lashes. There's two different kinds of magnetic lashes. There's the kind where it has 4 lashes that you put one on the lower and one on the upper, and you magnet, and they stick together like that over your lashes. Or there's a kind that has the eyeliner that's magnetic, and you stick the lash to the eyeliner. No matter what you wanted, what kind of magnetic lash you use, you want to make sure that it's something you can deal with. You want to try the eyeliner before you ever put the lashes on, because you want to make sure it's not going to irritate your eye or anything like that. The correct way to use the eyeliner kind is you want to put 7 stripes. You know, you put a stripe, let it dry, and do that 7 times to get a good magnetic base. Because if you don't have a good magnetic base, it won't stay, it won't hold on. And I mean, you've seen the ads where the lashes stay on during tornadoes, hurricanes, blizzards, typhoons, earthquakes, whatever else you might have, and they don't go anywhere. Well, the only way that happens is because they've put a good magnetic base. And so you want to put 7 stripes. Now, if you're going to make a wing with that eyeliner, that's fine, that's great. You only need to make the wing once. But for the lash, you want to put it across there 7 times. And once that's dried for that 7th time, then you take the lash and you put it up there, and it will magnetize to, it'll just pretty much jump on your face. And at that point, you'll want to do the part where you marry it together by squishing it together like that. And if you want to, you can put on the extra mascara underneath to your natural lashes. You don't really want to put mascara on the false lashes because it helps break the hairs down a lot faster. But if you're going to use the one that has the upper lash and the lower lash all for the lash up here, there are applicator tools that look like the scissor type eyelash curler that helps you put them on. But if you don't have that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bend that lash like I showed you, and you're going to want to form it and shape it. So what I would suggest is, since you have to do it to both of them, put them together, form them so that they're the same shape. And that way when you put the one up to your eye, you can put the other one up right underneath it. Or I would also suggest lightly gluing the top one to your eye and then putting the underneath one underneath. And that way it'll help give you some stability and help you get it on a lot easier. You don't have to glue the bottom one because the bottom one will pretty much jump onto your eyelashes because of the top one being there. But just remember, lashes are something you have to practice. Practice makes perfect. And there's all kinds of different lashes out there. There's even singles that you can get and dip in the glue and then put it on your face wherever you want it. And it really does help pull a look together. Like, it was a pretty dramatic eye, and then I put the lashes on and that calmed it down quite a bit. And then I put my glasses on and that calmed it down even more. So you can see lashes really do help. They really are a part of beauty. And there's a plethora of reasons to wear them. Some people wear them just because they like to. I wear them because my natural lashes are so puny. But that's another story. And I want to thank you for joining me for Lash 101. One of my next videos that's going to be coming up is going to be a Lash 102 showing you how to clean them. And I know I've done that one already before, but I feel there was a lot of people that missed out on it. So I'm going to do it again in an updated version. And we're going to have fun with it. So until next time, I want to thank you again for watching. Thank you for getting me to 100 subscribers and viewers. And please remember to like and share and thumbs up and subscribe and ring the bell. And on top of that, please stay safe, stay blessed, most importantly, stay beautiful, and I'll see you next time. I love you. Bye-bye.